guys? Happy Friday. It's Crow. I'm back. Crusty old Crow back again with another of the TCCC there. The Crow's Custom Creation Corners. It's your morning cup of Joe in the afternoon. I'm late to the game today, guys, because I didn't even get to do my Figure Thursday stuff yesterday. I was so busy running around this town trying to get something new off the shelf for to talk about with this new wave, and all I have to talk about is the problems I've had. But guys, my last couple of videos were the negative videos, right? That's where the Crow, I just sat there and said, screw it, I'll let you know that I do have those thoughts, the ones that, maybe some of my harsher critics, if I have a critics, that could be said about me is that I don't focus too much on the negative usually. So I did 2 videos like that where I was focusing on the negative, and now I've had quite the ordeal getting my pre-orders that I thought were assured, and I'm sure they are assured, but the timing was not. I'm having a heck of a time getting those in, so I didn't get anything new for the pre-orders that I expected. Did I get a new figure from this new wave? Yes, I did, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. If you didn't see the live stream last night I did with Aaron the Toy Enhancer and Down South 77, the 3 of us got together for 2.5 hours last night and jammed about the Vamp, the new wave, and just generally shot the shit about this whole subject matter the way that we'll definitely have to do that again. We had a good time. And if you were there with us, you know that I did get the Clutch figure, right? But there's a story behind it I was telling last night, and I'm going to get into that. And I'll tell you what I'm working on. But before I do, guys, I'm just going to remind you that I got a live, and it's all sorted out now. There was a debacle about my plans for the weekend. They have reverted back to a little bit more open than I thought. So Saturday morning with G.I. Crow is going to happen 11 a.m. live. I'm going to pull out the stuff I'm working on this weekend, shoot the shit with you a little bit about G.I. Joe Classified, this new wave, and I'll talk about the stuff I got on the go, and I'll talk about what's going on with you, and who knows what else we'll chat about. But you know me, I always keep it to an hour, and that'll be an hour with the Crow back on that schedule now that I'm back from my little vacation, as the family calls it, vacation. I called it a friggin' BFT with no end, but that's okay. Anyways, so what am I working on today? Today and this weekend, you're going to see me trying to finish off the couple of Wolverines that I do have on the go, because I've got to finish these off, at least the couple, and I've got to build up that supply of background characters that will match up. One of the problems I'm having with the Wolverines is while it's fun and affordable to do it using the Bakshi easy to get close to 6-inch or around there figures that you wouldn't use in a classified conversion, eventually you're going to need some taller figures. Like these anime figures are only so tall for so long, and then I've just got a Wolverine pack full of children. I need more larger figures around that size. So it's just a matter of sniping thrift stores and sales and things like that, and making sure that the price was right for what is there. So I got a few smaller ones, got a couple of mediums. I'll be working on those through the week. But if you were watching last night, you saw me talk about the Hiss Fire Team 788, which you guys know I got. Thank you so much to Hush TV. And while we're talking about Hush TV, really quickly, our positive and best thoughts out with him. He's had some medical procedure. He's got that going on, and I can't remember which day he said he went for it, but I think it's done. But he's healing up, and we all wish you the best, man. And we will talk as soon as you're all rested up, and we'll catch up, buddy, and see how you made out there. Hush has been helping me out with content with this channel by being very supportive supplier and helper, and we've got some things that we're working out, and that's really you'll see them on the channel. It'll be awesome. But moreover, he's another like-minded individual that was just a pleasure to talk to, and I did. And it was about the 788 Fire Team, which You guys heard me last night. It's Hasbro's subtle way of kind of steering everything towards HasLab, his tanks, and it came off as I was hating on Hasbro last night a little bit when I talked about how, you know, they paved this road for the his tank and make us all follow along, and how the numbering sequence for the line when the his tank figures went and dipped in and became a part of that numbering sequence, I felt was dirty pool, right? And then we got talking about the vamp, and Aaron, the toy enhancer's super vamp. Sorry, I did show that I am working on 788. I'm converting Python Patrol to 788. You're going to see that over the week. Anyways, we got talking about Aaron's vamp. And that's when I told him, hey, don't worry, I got a clutch. But Aaron's super vamp, if you've seen that thing got 1,000 views in 13 hours. And if you haven't seen it, make sure you're one of the next 1,000 views and go have a look at this thing and what he did with it. Remembering that the toy enhancer will absolutely enhance a toy. That's why he bought some extra vamps, right? And he is an ex-RC car. Like, he used to play with RC cars his whole life, right? So he has an abundance of RC knowledge and knows how to slap things together. So picture the vamp you wish you had as a kid. Aaron's built it. Go watch that video. So in that super vamp conversation, like, and we were talking about doing a live together. The night prior, Aaron had made me an offer to send me his extra clutch. He had a good friend of his channel, and just a great guy. I know who he was talking about. Just an awesome dude. I think it was Earthshark or somebody. He was going to send this extra clutch too, and the guy didn't need it when they spoke again. So Aaron thought of me, and he knew. For me, it's not about anything more in the end than the original 13. My whole collection could melt off the shelf so long as I retained my original 13 guys as I got them. And it's a bit dramatic, but he knew what clutch was to me. Clutch isn't just one of the original 13 for me, and the attached memory of that. Clutch was the driver of the armored vehicle, the vamp, like the light armored vehicle vamp. When I started my armored career, I was a driver for a few years, right? And that always made me think of Clutch, and Clutch always got to be a daredevil driver, but my crew commander wouldn't let me go past a certain speed, or, you know, would make sure that when I'm driving cross country, I have to consider they're up there and not vomit across these big hills and whatnot. I got to think of the crew, right? But, you know, Clutch just always thought about max speed. You know, I always liked Clutch through my career. He was one of the ones I was looking forward to with Hasbro, but I thought the vamp would be an easier get. And in taking my sweet-ass, unknowledgeable time to getting to Hasbro, I missed out on the orders on the vamp. And I wasn't concerned about that, guys. I really wasn't. And it might have come off as I was complaining a little bit about it last night or in past about, you know, and no, I don't get this and I don't get that. No, that's the challenge for me, and I knew it was achievable, was to get Clutch and worry about the vamp when the next orders came in, or they became available again through Hasbro. When I miss out on a project, 90% of the time it's my own fault, unless it's a Walmart line, and then it's like a combination of, no, it's more their fault. I will say, Night Force, Walmart, their fault. All things Walmart, their fault. But I'm fine with the fact that I missed the vamp. And you know, like, I'm disappointed I don't have one to share in all the current enjoyment everybody's having. But I'm not at all put off by its absence. It will show up in my collection when it shows up on my collection. When I do the right work for it, that's fine. And I know Hasbro isn't going to sit there and make it disappear again. It will come back out for more orders, things like this. But also, it's got to go through its scalp market phase, and I'm just not one of those guys that's going to what's the word? I wouldn't say waste money, because it's not a waste of money. I'm just not going to be so impulsive that I have to have it like a scalper's highest fee and I'm still going to buy it, right? I've been set straight on a few price expectations on this line through guys like Aaron the Toy Enhancer. He's showing me He's shown me a few times where it's been like, you should not be paying that, stop it. And a few other guys, they've enlightened me on what the retail worth is and the market and things like that. And they've talked me down when I have felt that impulsive. So now with the vamp, it comes when it comes, and if I get a chance to order it for myself soon, I will, because I think I would definitely enjoy a second clutch. Why not? But with this clutch, I got him for the standard Canadian figure price, and that was what was good. This guy posted up on Facebook as I was on there trying to sort out other issues and get my pre-orders. And I'll talk about pre-orders tomorrow more, but there was complications going on with my pre-orders, and these ninjas I was trying to buy off a guy, I wasn't getting the timing right with him, and he wasn't going to be available. He was working too hard, and I was like, okay, well, if you're not going to be available now, I'll buy them next week, because they haven't moved. And other people have told me about these ninjas, and I was like, okay, but I'm still going to pursue. Nonetheless, I was like, okay, man, I'm going to reach out to you next Thursday, because I got to go deal with these pre-orders. There's a bunch of them sitting at GameStop now. And no problems. It doesn't seem like he was too upset. And I felt bad about it. But when I went to GameStop, all my pre-orders had been shifted to the next person in line, because I told them that I was trying to work out this deal with this guy, like finish the loop on something I had started with him. And he took it as I wasn't coming back that day. So he's like, you'll have them next Thursday. I was like, okay. When I went back that day, they were gone, like into someone else's pile. And so I wasn't going to complain. That was my own doing. It was my own monster, but I wasn't going to rescind anything. But I was on Facebook and I saw him pop up at retail price, and I got it first. I told the guy, I said, I'm on my way to you. And it was a 30-minute drive there and a 30-minute drive back, and a nice visit with the guy. But yeah, he just was selling the figure. And as far as kit absence, all I was missing out of this one, like I have this shotgun set aside. It's CoverGirl shotgun. Do we always need to get CoverGirl shotgun? Yeah. But he also has her wrench. I didn't get that with this. I have two CoverGirls, so I have an extra wrench. I just have to dig it out and put it on his belt where it would go. Yeah, I like the little kit, like vehicle kit stuff that he's got there, and that's where the wrench sits clearly. But I'm wondering what that is, if that's a rag or a rolled up map, or if it's supposed to be a flashlight. It looks like it's supposed to be a flashlight. It's just an odd color. It's weird. Once I know for sure, maybe I'll know how to accent it. But I did get the pistol with them, which was fine, and the bump helmet, which was important. I didn't get the Raphael modified looking steel core helmet, and I'm fine with that, because when I buy my vamp, I'll have a whole new driver. And if I really wanted that steel core on there it is. It's all there. So I didn't need it at this point. So that was one thing that I got. Right, remember, I didn't show you guys everything yesterday, but if you were watching, you also see I kind of joked around with Aaron, because Aaron was going to send me this, and I wanted to tell him, don't bother. You're such a charitable guy, and there's other people that really need that from you if you have it. So move to the next guy on the list. I bought mine, and I was happy to do it. Right, fair price, all that stuff. But I showed him I got with the Batman drifter bike, right? And I kind of had him sitting on there like, look, and he comes with his own ride. This is not going to be Clutch's ride. Woody222, if you're watching this video, I saw your comment, and you were absolutely right. The scale of this thing is just a bit off. So unless you have a larger figure, the reach for the handlebars and everything isn't quite organic. It is larger. I mean, you can get away with it with some. It depends on the pose. If he's riding, fine, but if he's casual, you're not going to get a natural pose. He's going to look like a child riding his big brother's 10-speed back in the day, right? So, but I knew that. I had a suspicion about that when I saw the size of the goddamn helmet that came with it, right? This is the helmet that comes with that Batman drift cycle, and so look at the size of that turnip right there, right? So thankfully, like, it's larger. Yeah. Comb the desert for them, they're jamming all sensors, whatever. I can't do a good Darth helmet, but you see it, like, Rick Moranis would have loved this helmet. But there you go. So, yeah, the scale was just off. So what I bought it for was, I had a vendetta against its price at first. Like, they had it on at $43, and I was like, there's no way that's even worth $43. You're just getting the bike and the helmet and the stand. at best. I thought maybe I'll wait till it goes down to 30. Well, I went down to 23, so I picked it up, and I wanted it as a set piece, just as a backdrop, right? Because I'm working on a couple of backdrops, just to improve the display of the Joe and spread things out, so I can do a video displaying my Joe collection. That looks like a lot of fun when I see guys do that on their channel. I want to do that this weekend at some point or soon. But I'm going to work on a city one based on some stuff I saw in Paris and London. Oh, you arrogant cocksucker. Why would you, pardon my language. No, it's not a vanity thing. It's just I saw some cool graffiti I thought would look cool in the background of one of my props and things like that. And I thought it would be a cool place to park some neat stuff and just have a design where, it's either to display Joe's or do what I'm doing with that kind of Ninja Battle Royale up there on that top shelf, where it's going to be a mix of Joe and Cobra on that street. Maybe just have one shelf dedicated to a little battle. Who knows, right? So I had to pick up some stuff for that, and I showed one to Aaron. Last night I showed you that bike, but I showed this one to Aaron, and it hadn't been primed yet. And me and him had a chat about what would you do with it, right? And the thing is, guys, I have projects I want to finish. I want to finish my hovercraft. Anything hardcore work and engineering and that kind of thought process, that's not getting poured into a vehicle project. That's getting poured into that hovercraft and the display. Get those things closed. But set pieces and props where it's just slap on some paint, maybe glue on a couple of pieces, and it's done. That I will do all day, so I can get the shelves sorted out, and then that just helps my show as far as I see it. It helps my OCD, and it's productive, right? So while I'm working on these 788s, and by the way, digital diary, if you're watching, yes, I am going to be using that demo kit and things like that. Loki, I'm using your parts on those. You're going to see me dry brushing and working on background pieces, and one of them is going to be this little minivan ride. It's kind of hokey but fun, but I noticed with the paint, I got it because of this. It was a steal at a price at a thrift store, and with the paint, there's the illusion of depth. They didn't give it depth, but if at another point in time I decided to Dremel out that floor and make it drop, right now that floor sits here. If it were here, that's a full size, right? But I can't seat anybody on there, but it has the illusion of it, right? And for scale, there you go, right? So I was going to make this actually, and this is what I was talking to Aaron about. This was going to be rock and roll's kind of surfer truck, right? I was going to extend that board a bit, do something with the board. But yeah, this was going to be rock and roll's private vehicle, and I wanted to do like this beater surfer dude kind of, custom jobby that you might, it's rusted out, but you could tell it used to be really loved. And I was going to do a two-tone, either blue and white or two-tone blue. I think I'm going to do the two-tone blue, but I wanted to paint some rust effects and graffiti and just bash this thing up, rat rot it a little bit, make it California homage, and just have a good time with it. But really, that's all it is. It's just paint, and then up on that shelf it goes in the background. So I got that, and I thought, that would be something that Clutch and Rock and Roll would work together on as a project truck. So when I don't get a vamp, it's fine, because I have so many different options for Clutch to have a ride till I do have a vamp, right? It makes me happy to have those kind of problems. Yeah, those aren't annoying issues for me, the lack of the Jeep. No, it's always been about Clutch. Now it's just the lack of a ride in general. So like background stuff for that. And Clutch, we're going to take that helmet off because it's just wobbly on you right now. But what do I really want his ride to be? And I think it's really going to work out, and I'm excited to do this one again. All I have to do is fix the front wheel, but yeah, guys, I'm not going to replace the vamp and say that's his official vehicle. I'm focusing on his downtime vehicle, and I thought it's definitely easy to do this as a dreadnought, but I have other things for dreadnoughts. But yeah, this chopper, like that chopper right there, I think that's from the WWE collection. But I just, again, a background piece, a really nicely done chopper. This thing I got $3.99 at Value Village the other day, and I just primed her up flat black, get her ready for paint. I just have to glue. It's got broken spokes, but again, for scale, There you go. It's fine for background stuff, right? And yeah, I mean, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it in a way it could fit for a Dreadnought set, or it could fit in a Joe Garage, whatever background. Just keep it that kind of thing. I'm not going to paint a Dreadnought symbol on it, nor am I going to put a Joe logo on it, right? That kind of sensibility. If you guys have been paying attention, you know I've been talking with those cheap, dirty little Snake Eyes Origins dollar store figures. So here's a ton of them primed up. But what impressed Aaron and down south last night, maybe I haven't put enough emphasis on this, is why else would I buy these? Okay, one, Storm Shadows variant has a couple of soft good cloaks you could remove and do stuff with, or you could leave it on, it works. They are the right scale for background characters, and you can take the heads off and put 3D printed heads on and maybe make them slightly improved, which I am talking, you know, like some parts that Loki sent me would work on this, but I'm going to talk about them, about some generic ones on my next order, because I think background ninjas for my Black Oni are priority. Some background blue Cobra perhaps, maybe just or just like support Cobra, like movements personnel and medical staff, and all the stuff you don't normally see Cobra have a uniform for. Maybe that's what these guys are for. But what really kind of got their eye was the fact that these things come with some weapon sets that you wouldn't make that connection normally. So for example, Storm Shadow, I bought a couple of them, comes with quivers and bow that work out of the classified line, right? I might just cut that string out like they did with the Blue Ninja and leave it stringless, but perfectly good bow, an attachable quiver with the slot, that if you really wanted his sword sheaths, and the swords aren't anything impressive, but the sheaths could be repurposed to hold different swords. But I'm not a big fan of the way they did them. They almost look like a tank barricade, the way they have them crisscross. There's just too much mass to this, but it's there if I want it. But nonetheless, you get a quiver, you get a bow, and that's what the Storm Shadow one. But some of the Snake Eyes ones were very interesting in that they came with I'll show you here one, the what initially got Aaron's eye and down south. The 3-star drawl is down south 77. Sorry guys, so 3-star drawl. If you're not following his channel, please go check it out and do so. Charming southern fellow talking about Joe. He's a lot like me. He can go on just like me, and he's aware of it. And I'm sure just like me, he's like, take it, bitches. Just take it, okay? Because that's what I'm giving, right? But wicked guy, got along with him, had a great time chatting with him last night live, and finally meeting him person to person. And I told him, man, 3-star draw, no, it's a 5-star draw. You got a really cool accent, right? But they were impressed by this 3-part sectional staff that came with one of the Snake Eyes variants. And I told them there was a mix of good and hokey kit. Well, the staff came, he had a couple of flimsy sai, but the ones that impressed me the most is a couple of the variants, and they had swords and whatnot, no guns, good, but they had kamas, perfectly good kamas in that set. And again, dollar store toy, but the accessory is fully compatible with Joe. So yeah, I'll stock up on a few more of those from time to time. What's getting me right now is I can't help but notice a certain person in the Ottawa region charging $50 for a pack of these, like a group of these. I think they're selling 5 and he's selling 50. And he's using a photo of them on sale next to classified stuff with the price tag $29.57. And I'm not going to embarrass this idiot, but cut it out. Stop pulling that bullshit on Facebook Marketplace, you demon. You know damn well these are $5 toys at the dollar store. Not that, comma. I'm talking about these ones that are ripped apart. And I tells you, up till this moment, I had a case of these out, like the thing to show you. But have a look. They don't come. They are really small packs, and they are not. This is it, right here. Right here, guys. Do not go on Facebook garage sale and pay anything more than $5 for this. These are dollar store items at the best. Charging someone $50 for 5 of them, that's damn corrupt, and I'm going to call it out all day. But at least I'm sparing that individual the sense of saying their name. But yeah, get a grip. Anyways, enough about that. Yeah, they came with the commas, they came with the weapons. That's all great. It was just nice little buffs like that. So talked about those things, talked about that. Okay, I'm going to close this one out today by reminding you guys to hit that like, share, subscribe, and show you just something else I picked up. Again, another quick spray and dry brush, and I might add flatbeds or canopies to this. But a couple of these that I picked up today. Isn't that funny? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? But again, I looked at it and I just love that front end. It's what I loved about this front end. It's that wide body, you know, and figs fit in there. And if you didn't think they did, well, because it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course it did. Hang on, guys, I'll get that. There you go. So there's Dreadnought Bowser hanging out. And yeah, you got to crimp the legs a little bit. But two of these with flatbeds in the back for hauling stuff or canopies. Maybe you sit a couple of troops in the back. All I got to do is take it. Oh my. Those little, these things. I got a repurposed ladder, but that'll come out flatbed over top or canopy over there because they have the functional gates too, right? Sorry if I've got I can't see the camera right now. So there you go. Those aren't big conversions. Those are really just paint overs and slap something over at kit bashes. So I'm happy to do that. And yeah, you know, when I'm thinking about rides for Clutch, maybe he drives an APC, but not just any APC. It's one of these funky garage, you know, rat rod garage APCs. Maybe that's what Joe's left with in End State. All their fancy shit is gone. They got to build their own. Who knows? But I'll tell you one that was off the table. I said, you know what? No, you can't do that for your classified. You can't have that for classified. You're not allowed to put that with classified figures. But God damn it, you need to own it right now and figure out what is it for, right? Maybe, does Joe go to Disneyland and do they have a fight near the Star Wars X-Wing exhibit? Because this monstrosity came home with me today, and I'll tell you why. I was picking up those, whatchamacallums, those turtle trucks, and it was at the Value Village where I knew the guy, he was pricing them for me because they didn't have a price, and he gave me the fair price of $4.99 each. I was picking those up, I was about to walk out, and I saw this in the furniture section, and I said, what the actual F? And I went over, and it was priced at $9.99, guys. Now, I think this is the cheap plastic kids toy out there that somebody repainted and gave a lot of care to. And at $9.99, all I could sit there and was saying is it's classified scale, so you know that Star Wars Black Series scale, it's a few things scale. And yeah, I'm not letting that sit there like that. That to me is a tradable commodity or a beautiful centerpiece, but it's in the wrong place. It belongs shown in this community for what it is, which is a glorious X-Wing prop. It's for 6-inch scale, and I was like, yeah, I will happily take that. But no, Clutch, that's not your new ride. We don't jump sharks like that here. Oh, look at that, I just figured out the R2 pops out. Yeah, so I mean, clearly it was the old cheaper toy, and I'm talking about the cheap Star Wars bottom shelf Toys R Us oversized toys. You know, you can get them like a 12-inch Skywalker with 4 points of articulation, those kind of things. But the X-Wing was large, and I don't think it would cost very much. But this guy, whoever got it, gave it some loving, and I respect that. So it was worth the price to me. Oh, geez, camera. Sorry, guys. All right, while I'm screwing this camera right up and making you guys nauseous with vertigo, remember, like, share, subscribe. Remember, I'm going live Saturday morning. 11 a.m. Eastern time, so that's it. If it's in Ottawa, yep, that's me. But remember, it's the same time. I'm in the same time zone as Aaron the Toy Enhancer. So whatever time he says, I'm in that same time zone. There you go. And I use that because we have a guy that keeps. Guys get shocked by our time zones, but yeah, it's Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I got too much to do with the Wolverines and my 788 and these shelves I've got to get done, right? So you guys have a great weekend. I'll see some of you on Saturday, I'm sure. And thank you very much, old new subscribers. Thank you, friends of the channel. Rest well, Hush TV. And get healed up. And Loki, I hope everything's good with you. And I hope your missus feels better real soon. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.